Good morning. Welcome to the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha review for Thursday, the 17th of December. Today is the 7th day of Hanukkah, and we are still talking about the laws and customs of Hanukkah, particularly candle lighting, menorah lighting, according to Rav Mordechai Eliyahu of blessed memory. He writes as follows: according to the letter of the law, the obligation to light a menorah is in a permanent dwelling only. So a place where people live. Now, if you have a cottage, that would be a permanent dwelling because you do spend considerable time there. But in a vehicle, an airplane, a boat, strictly speaking, there is no obligation to light a menorah there. It is possible, however, to light in a moving vehicle, he writes, a boat, an airplane, etc., in order to publicize the miracle in every place. Remember that the goal of lighting the menorah, among other things, is Pirsumei Nisa, publicizing the miracle. However, one does not fulfill one's own obligation by lighting in these means of conveyance. So it follows that one should not make a bracha on such a lighting, since it's like lighting in a temporary dwelling. Of course, he adds a word of caution: one should be careful not to cause a fire when lighting in these places, and therefore you can use electric bulbs. In fact, he has a whole section here, which we won't get to this year, but he does talk about lighting with electric menorah lights in public places in order to publicize the miracle. Let's touch just for a minute on the idea of the shamash. Shamash. It's a custom to place a special candle called the shamash next to the Hanukkah lights. Usually this is the candle with which you lit your Hanukkah lights. We place the shamash next to the light. So if someone derives benefit from the light of the lights, they will be deriving benefit, we say, from the shamash, and that you're allowed to do. If you read the text carefully of Haneros Halalu, it says, Ein lanu reshus lehishtamesh bahem ella lirasam bavad. We have no permission to use them for any other purpose, these menorah lights, other than to look at them and to remember the great miracles that God did for us. So one should not read or count money or check one's watch, the time, anything like that. So that's a reason we have a shamash there. Many people, most people, everybody I know, uses it to light the other candles. In addition, however, it's there so that if you derive benefit from the lights by accident, we hang it on the shamash. We say that you didn't use the Hanukkah lights, rather the other. According to the letter of the law, if there's an electric lighting, you don't have to place a shamash next to the candles. So, because if you want to use light, you'll just use the electric light, right? Nevertheless, the custom is to light a shamash and put it next to the candles anyway. Obviously, if the room is well lit, you're not going to have to turn your watch or check your messages or whatever you happen to be doing. You won't be depending on any candlelight. You just use the light in the room. Nowadays, all of our life is backlit anyway, so what's the difference? The shamash should be either longer or placed higher than the other lights so that it's recognizable. And also, of course, as we said, if you happen to use the light of the menorah, the main benefit will be from that. In a place where many families light, or in a place where all members of the family customarily light Hanukkah lights, each person puts their menorah in a separate place so it's clear how many candles are being lit. Therefore, each person should also put their shamash next to their menorah. Okay? So that is a little bit of insight into the shamash. We will continue. Actually, you know what? Let's just take a look at one more interesting point here, just because it popped up about students and soldiers. Here's the difference. We said it the other day about having in mind to fulfill your obligation or not to by hearing, for example, a parent or someone else in the house make a bracha. Here's the din according to Rav Mordechai Eliyahu for Sfardim, Sephardic yeshiva students and soldiers. If they're not married, then according to the letter of the law, their obligation to light is fulfilled by their father who lights at home. So even if they're far away in yeshiva or in the army, when their father lights the menorah at home, that fulfills their obligation. And the same applies to a man whose wife lights on his behalf at home. He happens to be traveling for whatever reason, he's not home for Hanukkah, so his wife lights at home, and he fulfills his obligation in that way. He writes us in a different paragraph for Ashkenazic yeshiva students or soldiers, those whose custom is that all members of the household light with brachas, with making the blessing, should light with brachas in their yeshiva also. If there are several who live in the same dorm, each of them lights and blesses by themselves. A little bit of additional insight there into some differences in Piskei Dinim. Okay, happy Hanukkah. Tonight we're lighting 8 nights. This is called Zos Hanukkah. This is Hanukkah. Everything goes after the conclusion. Zos Hanukkah, by the way, Zos Hanukkah, Mizbeach, Menorah, whatever it says in the Kriyas HaTorah, in the Torah reading, if we were getting together for a minyan, which we hope to be doing soon, but most probably not by tomorrow morning, mentions Zot Chanukah. This is the dedication also. Okay, so enjoy it. Last light with all the candles burning in such a holy and Yom Tovdik way. And join us again tomorrow. Bye.